Rejoin the Paris.
It was one of President Biden's first promises to rejoin the Paris Agreement on climate change, now confirmed with a signature and a pledge.
We can no longer delay or do the bare minimum to address climate change. This is a global existential crisis, and we'll all suffer the consequences if we fail. We have to rapidly accelerate our commitments to aggressively curb our emissions and to hold one another accountable for meeting our goals and increasing our ambitions.
America has a new climate change envoy, clearly furious that Donald Trump ever left this agreement.
We have to be honest that as a global community, we're not close to where we need to be. We have to be humble because we know the United States was inexcusably absent for 4 years. And most of all, we have to be ambitious, all of us, because we have to get the job done.
In Texas, there's still snow on the roads and oil in the ground. We came here to the town of Kilgore, a place synonymous with the oil industry. Back in the 1930s, there were 24 oil wells in this one stretch of road. It was known as the richest acre in the world. There were more than 1,000 wells in this one town. And that cheap, plentiful supply of oil fueled America's expansion. It's now in the nation's DNA, which is why weaning America of its addiction to cheap fossil fuels is going to be hard. Because for the people here, it's not just about the environment, but about jobs, livelihoods, and the suspicion that this vast country is not ready to give up on fossil fuels.
I'll tell you about the wind powers. That's what's going on right now. Everything's frozen up. They still use oil. Guess what they went out to defrost them with? A helicopter. That uses oil. How they get the oil? From the ground? I mean, we're years away from stuff like that for renewable resources.
Being from around here, oil is everything. And being from Kilgore, I know a lot of people whose livelihood depend on oil.
I think it's fine to look for alternative sources, but until there's a way to adequately produce those alternative sources, then I feel like we should still use oil.
5.5 billion barrels of oil have come out of the ground in East Texas. These lands have fueled the country for nearly a century. But time is changing. Look up there in those old oil derricks. The vultures are gathering. Adam Parsons, Sky News, Kilgore in Texas.